Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing great and enjoying this Diwali festival with your friends and family. Today's video, we are going to talk or explore one of the important skill which I think from my experience, every college student or uh, fresher who has passed out from the college, DevOps engineer, infrastructure engineer, SRE, cloud engineer should know this skill. And that is none other than shell scripting. So today, me and you will be learning together the shell scripting from scratch. So pull your chairs, sit, relax, and learn with me shell scripting. So friends, today we will be exploring the journey of shell scripting. So what are we going to cover in this journey is what is shell scripting, importance of shell scripting, variables in shell scripting, loops in shell scripting, different operators like arithmetic, relational, string operators, file text operators, and all these things we are going to execute practically. And the bonus tip is we are going to basically debug the shell script, how you can debug the shell script, what kind of command you need to basically debug your shell script if you are facing any issues. So that's what is going to be covered in today's video, or the journey of shell script between me and you. So let's get to the first point, which is what is shell scripting. Shell scripting act as an interpreter which interprets the set of instruction given by you on a terminal to a computer system. In short, shell scripting is like a recipe for cooking which tells you what ingredients you need to create a particular dish. Consider it as a cooking book recipe where you have the recipes for different dishes like lentil soup, tomato soup, a lot of things, right? Chicken tikka masala, palak paneer, etc. So that set of instructions in that book is nothing but a shell scripting. Now, shell script basically interacts with the kernel, including your operating system, which can be a Linux or a Unix. So, shell scripting basically what it does, it is takes the instructions from you, it sends to the kernel, kernel interprets, kernel basically sends it to an operating system, and then operating system sends back to the kernel, and kernel then reverts back to the shell, where shell basically interprets that result and displays you on the terminal as an output. So that's a short description of the shell scripting. Now, why you need this shell scripting, or what is the importance of shell scripting? Say, first thing is it is easy to learn. Any college student, fresher, or a non-IT background who is planning to move into an IT background, or a person who is stepping into a software engineer world, DevOps world, cloud world, can easily learn this skill, which is shell scripting. The second is to schedule the tasks at specific intervals. Say if you want to check a particular task, you can execute that in the shell script at a specific intervals using a watch command. Say if I want to print a date of after every 5 minutes, I can write that watch command in the shell script, and it will get executed every 5 minutes. Second thing is automate of repetitive tasks. Say you want to monitor a specific file at a specific location, or a disk space utilization of your file system. You can do that using a shell scripting. The third is execution of multiple commands. Say you have a scenario where you want to execute copy command, you want to execute ls command, you want to basically do the printing of the direct printing of certain commands. You can do that in one shot by writing a shell script. The last and important thing is the portability. Once you have written the shell script, you can execute that on the Unix environment, Linux environment of any flavors, be it a Sun Solaris, be it a Red Hat Linux, be it an HPAI operating system. You can easily execute it. It's not tough like other languages like Python, Perl, where you need to basically compile the script according to that specific version you're using and then execute and that can't be even backtrack to the previous version. But with shell scripting, it's very easy. Once written, execute multiple times on different flavors of Unix or Linux. Now, what types of shell we have? We have sh. The sh is derived from the name of the person called as a bone shell who developed this shell in AT&T labs. Bash. Bash is known as a born again shell developed by the brand in GNU Lab. KSH, as the name suggests, K stands for Korn. It was introduced by David Korn and hence the name was there. And we have other interpreters like CSH, ZSH. So these are the different interpreters or the flavors of shell available for you to write the shell scripting. Now, what is shebang? This is nothing but an hash explanation, and this is really optional. Even though if you don't write that, you can execute the shell. But with this, what we are telling the shell is that use this as an interpreter for executing my shell scripting. So if I want to write, I have written a shell in CSH or a bash, I am telling my default shell to basically execute this shell using an interpreter called as bash or csh. Don't worry, we are going to basically look that in our demo session. Now, how to execute the shell script? There are various ways, right? The first way is if you have written a shebang, you just use dot slash and the name of the script. If you're not you if you want to basically execute your shell script using a specific interpreter, you put the name of that interpreter in front of that your script, which in this case is bash test.sh. So test.sh script will be executed using a bash as an interpreter. Now, other way is source test.s. This will execute the shell in a current shell session instead of initializing the new sub shell session. We will look at our demo session. Now, how to print the name of the shell script? Simple command echo $0. What is echo? Echo is used in shell script to print anything you want. Like in C we have print, in CSH shell interpreter you can use print, KSH you can use print. Similarly in bash or sh you can use echo instead of print. So that's what it is. Now let's look at the demo session of all this. So friends, I'm going to use an AWS Cloud Shell for my demo session on the shell scripting. So let's first create a directory, or I have already created a directory called hash shell demo. If you want to create a directory, you can use mkdir shell demo 1 and this will create a directory for you. But now let's get into our shell demo. Okay, and if you see, there is nothing in the shell demo directory. In order to create the shell script, you on a terminal you can use vi editor, you can use nano also. But if say you don't want to use a terminal, you are going to use your local desktop, you can use node plus plus, edit plus plus, vss code also to write a shell script. But I'm going to use basically a vi as I'm familiar with the vi editor. So how can you create your first shell script is vi, the name of the script, which can be a first shell dot sh. Why sh is needed? Because shell needs to basically interpret that file as a shell file, so that's why it should always has an extension dot sh. And now once I enter it, I have opened that file, but if I can't still write into the file, to do that I need to press escape and if you see, the moment I press that, the insert gets activated, and now I can start typing in the file. So now let's type echo. In order to print anything in the shell, you can use echo command. It is similar as print. KSH, in KSH you can use has you can use print. In CSH you can use print, but we are going to use here echo for the bash. And this is my first script. Now I want to save it, so I will again press escape. Now if you see, the insert has become deactivated. Now if I want to save it, I will press shift colon WQ, and that's how you can save your shell script. So tomorrow, if you are logged in with another user and you want to forcibly save the script with your changes, you can type colon WQ explanation. That's where it will forcibly save the script even if you don't have access to that script. So now we have saved this. If I type ls minus lrt, you can see I have read write access. The group has read access, and then other stuff. So that's how the shell script we have created. Now to execute this shell script, I can use sh and first shell, and it will print. If I want to execute this shell script using a bash interpreter, I can type bash and first shell. It is executed with a bash interpreter. Now if I want to basically make sure that my script is executed using bash, not a default shell, how you don't need to worry. All you need to do is type which and the name of the shell, which in this case I want to use bash, so I get the path of the bash interpreter where it is. So you don't need to worry about remembering the path. Now if I go to this first underscore shell dot s, I will now again type skip I. Okay, and now I will use our favorite chain bank, where I am telling basically use this as an interpreter, user bin bash. And now if we save it, how can you execute? Dot first dot first. Okay, let me give the permissions. chmod 77 first shell, and you see now our script has been executed using that. If you see, I've also changed the permission to r rwxrxrx, right? So I've given the full permission to the user, which is cloud shell user, to read, write, execute, and the group has permission xr, which is execute and read, and the others have permission of execute. Without having execute permission, you would not be able to execute a shell. So that's what we have done. Now remember echo $0, what that means. Let's execute that practically. So I'm going to type here something, echo name of script, and I'm going to do here 0. Let's see what it prints. Saving it, executing it. See, it print the name of the script. So that's the beauty of $0. It prints the name of your script.